Well, we've had a day of driving rain here in South London, but it'll certainly have a greasy top, and we're delighted to welcome our viewers from the central and Granada areas. We're sorry, of course, that Derby and Forest is off, but we've got two sides here in the top 8 of the Ensley First Division, and the promise here, two sides who like to play it around a bit as well, let me add, and on a greasy top, then we could promise you, I think, quite an excellent game of football here this afternoon. Let's check on the teams. Charlton with Mike Salmon in goal. Number 1, Stuart Balmer. Let me just say we've got these absurd squad numbers again. I'm sorry about that. 11 is Scott Minto. 4, Peter Garland. 23, Phil Chapple. 10 is Alan McLeary, who's shaken off a foot injury in training. 18, John Robinson. 16, Darren Pitcher. 8, Carl Leaburn. 12, Gary Nelson. And 21, Colin Walsh. In fact, Charlton unchanged for the 3rd successive game. There's a great spirit in this side. Colin Walsh with still many a canny touch down the left flank of midfield. Gary Nelson having a really productive season among the goals up front. And indeed, a Charlton old boy returning to the Valley today, Paul Walsh. He made his debut here as a 16-year-old in 1979, thence, of course, to Luton, to Liverpool, to Spurs, but now in outstanding form this season for Portsmouth. And this is their side. They've got Alan Knight in goal. 2 is John Gittens. 3, Guy Butters. 4, Alan McLoughlin. 5, Kit Symons. 6, Andy Awford. 7, Warren Neill. 8, Stuart Doling. 9, John Durnin. 10 is Walsh himself. And 11, the Dane, Bjorn Kristensen. Gittens, Butters, Symons, 3 main defenders. Neill and Awford. McLoughlin, important in the midfield for them. And watch out, too, for the combination of Durnin and Walsh, who are really quick and elusive up front. The substitutes today for Charlton Athletic are Sean Newton, the former West Ham star Mark Robson, and goalkeeper John Vaughan. And for Portsmouth, Lee Russell, Rob Pethick, and goalkeeper Brian Horne. Our referee today, Rodger Gifford, who comes from Mid-Glamorgan. And also starting today, a handsome new Man of the Match award. It's a silver owl. Looks to be well worth winning. Well, this is our lofty position. They're doing such a tremendous amount of work here at the Valley. You can see how close to the touchline we are. This is a wonderful new stand that is well on the way to being completed and will be completed, I'm told, by April 2nd for the home game against Southend United. So things are really on the move here at the Valley, but that's our little position today. I was in the new camp in Barcelona on Wednesday, when in fact I might have had the man in the moon as the co-commentator then. It was so high. Now it looks as though I might be playing outside right for Portsmouth. Portsmouth in the blue, Charlton Athletic in the red. Theo Foley, my co-commentator. Theo, the prospect's pretty good here. Yes,
it has the real prospects of an outstanding game, Brian, for obvious reasons. Portsmouth, I think, will want a result here to keep in touch. Charlton equally will want a result to keep on top. So it's going to be tremendous. A lot could depend, I think, on the form of this young man, Paul Walsh, who I think will be coming back here to prove just what a good player he is.
Well, he's the captain of Portsmouth, of course. Charlton aiming for the top today, and indeed victory would send them leapfrogging over Tranmere Rovers at the top by a point. Charlton, a team beaten only once at home in the league and only 3 times anywhere, pitching for a place in the Premiership. The same, though, can certainly be said for Portsmouth, who are lying 8th in the table. Leaburn playing the ball inside to Robinson. And the number 5, Kit Symons, getting in for Portsmouth. As you can see, the rain still thundering down here. Nelson struggling there. Balmer keeping it in touch there. Still with Gary Nelson. Ooh, some lovely skills there. And a cross that comes in, and Knight equal to it. There's Robinson, but there was some excellent skills also from Gary Nelson there, Theo.
Yes, very, very good indeed. He kept very good control of the ball, and that went one way and then one the other way. Excellent. Very frantic pace at the moment, Brian, which isn't a surprise with Charlton.
Yes, Scott Minto. All cut out by Kristensen. Neill in there as well. Here's Colin Walsh. Getting Nelson down that flank. Knight's out quickly. And hitting it straight, virtually into the commentary box here.
If you'd have been playing outside right, you could have had that one.
Alan Knight, 32 years old, over 500 league games for Pompey. His only club. Well, he's a London boy, Knight, born in Balmer. Minto with the throw. Walsh into that famous left foot, gets it a long way across there. That was a good and interesting cross there. Robson trying to keep it going for Charlton, does so very well indeed. And Symons again, real emergency action there, heading it back virtually over his own crossbar. Some good work by Walsh. Another corner for Charlton.
It's amazing to me, Brian, they didn't get the ball back from that position to the far post. I really thought Leaburn would have got there. Splendid cross, that lovely left foot, as you said.
Well, Nottingham Forest fans for so many years would remember that one. Colin Walsh. So here's the corner. Leaburn and Chapple up from the back. A couple of six-footers in there. It's Kristensen who got it away. Walsh. Now it's Robson once again for Charlton, going past his man beautifully. There's the little cross coming in. It's really all hands to the pumps now in that Portsmouth defence. That's a couple of good clearances that Symons has made. The cross comes in again. The flick on is a good one. That time it was Neill. Walsh. Leaburn. Just wide.
I tell you, Portsmouth are very lucky that they've got such big players in there, Brian, because if they didn't, they certainly 4 or 5 first-class crosses gone in, and Leaburn's shot was a poor one. The other one, I think he would have got his head on that wonderful Walsh cross. But it's interesting at the moment.
Robson, who joined from Brighton and Hove Albion, he took over, of course, from Robert Lee when he went up to Newcastle. Pitcher jumping for this one, but it went over him, fell for Paul Walsh. Symons gets it back to Knight. Quite a bit of surface water now beginning to develop. That will make it a little more difficult. Some fun and games there between Kristensen and Leaburn. Kristensen claimed he got a smack in the face. There was certainly a bit of pushing and shoving. The referee has given a free kick to Charlton, but other than that, nothing. Walsh will take the free kick. Symons getting it away again. McLoughlin. Neill to John Gittens. Hit long now towards Durnin. Neill playing it in. McLoughlin's made the break forward, but Charlton get it away to Scott Minto. It's Balmer who made the interception deep in defence. Walsh can eat down the line. Nelson chasing, Gittens there first. Garland. Walsh. Still with Walsh. McLoughlin. Kristensen. Neill playing a delicate little ball in there, well met by McLeary. Minto again. Leaburn. Swift challenge and an unfair one there. And Leaburn getting rid of it quickly, but too quickly because Nelson was in an offside position.
I think we've already seen, Brian, that the runs of McLoughlin are going to be very, very penetrative for Portsmouth. The system is to suit him, really. He can make those runs. And along with Paul Walsh and the fullbacks pushed on, it's going to be an interesting contest. A lot will depend, I think, on how the big man here on the ball, the big number 5, Kit Symons, can in fact play against Carl Leaburn. But it's set for an interesting game.
Well, it's Symons with the free kick. McLoughlin again, who, as you say, could be such a key factor for Portsmouth. Cut out by Colin Walsh, but then given away. Paul Walsh dinking the ball through, and again it was McLoughlin, as you were saying, Theo, making that run from deep. Walsh was looking for him. Kristensen. Neill playing the ball in towards Paul Walsh. And Balmer in the end gets it away. Garland taking up the running. Little ball played for Robson. In fact, back there was a very good advantage played by referee Gifford. Robinson's gone round his man, but Neill had gone across to do a good repair job for Portsmouth, but Charlton get a corner.
You have to say, even at this stage, Brian, that Portsmouth are not afraid to come out, and Charlton are not afraid to go forward when they get the opportunity. So it looks like to me it's going to depend on who's going to get one first. Charlton are good at these set plays as well.
Leaburn, Chapple. Also there. Played a little wider this time. McLoughlin meeting it first for Portsmouth. No bouncing that at all. It got really caught up. Doling playing it wide for Walsh. Again McLoughlin. Here he is down this left flank this time. Walsh again. Played inside. And a chance for Warren Neill. And they've scored. 1-0 Portsmouth. And Warren Neill, to the delight of the Pompey fans, at the far end of the ground.
That's actually come, Brian, from Charlton's corner kick. Wonderful pass from Walsh, wonderful pass again from Walsh. Missed by the 8, who seemed to do
Doling.
a very good over. And of course, young Warren Neill, who had a QPR all on his own. That's going to be the danger, really, Brian. As I said, they've set up with the sweeper system to encourage players to get forward, and they've done very, very well.
Minto now to Walsh. So a terrific start to the game, really, I must say, with both sides, as you were saying, showing plenty of desire to attack.
It's obviously Jim has brought his team here with a view to winning, not to doing anything else. It's very early yet, though.
Needed to gain a certain revenge for a defeat on Pompey's first home game of the season. Actually, Charlton went there and won 2-1. Leaburn with the throw for Charlton. Everybody's slipping and sliding at the moment. Nelson. Waiting for Robinson to come across and take the Charlton corner.
You can actually see now, Brian, that Portsmouth have left 2 players up the field. They feel they've got a chance if they can get the ball out.
Long. And it came off Chapple, I think. Actually, sitting this low, it's very difficult to decipher what's going on from those corners, and can never understand why managers always sit. It's not the best view, is it?
Well, we aren't allowed to sit as high as you see. You have to be very, very close to the action, and you have to be near to the players, and I like it here, actually. This is a lovely spot for me. I don't like heights.
That shot there is Steve Britt, one of the co-managers here at Charlton, with Alan Kirbishley. And an offside flag, bringing Gary Nelson back.
There is going to be space behind both of the fullbacks, Brian, because the balls will be played in there with the fullbacks pushed on, and the 3 at the back for Portsmouth have to deal with that. Gary Nelson, I'm sure, will get caught offside quite a bit, but it's well worth a try.
Free kick. Butters have gone up there. Weather certainly seems to be hitting the football programme. I understand that Grimsby versus Sunderland, which started, is now being called off. But we're still going here with Charlton leading by a goal to 0 after 10.5 minutes play. Portsmouth leading Charlton by a goal to 0. To the delight of the Portsmouth manager, Bald Eagle, Jim Smith. So many people wonder just how Pompey would react after being so close to promotion to the Premiership last season. They lost it really on a single goal to West Ham and then were knocked out of the playoffs. It says an awful lot for the management of Jim Smith that he's pulled everybody round, and they're mounting another challenge this year.
He's a very good manager, Brian. He loves the game, and possibly the only place he hasn't been successful is Newcastle, which is quite strange. Had many a battle with Jim when he had hair.
Salmon with the goal kick for Charlton Athletic. Nelson, a lot of support. Symons taking no chances.
He's kicked that over 2 car parks. It's gone way down Floyd Road. He's actually set the team up, Jim, which is typical of him, as I said, to accommodate McLoughlin, but he's going to deal with Leaburn's flicks by playing 3 at the back.
Walsh by a yard of space. Neill, the goal scorer. No foul. Robson with the little cross, and Leaburn had a half a chance there. Oh, and a great chance there for Darren Pitcher. Charlton in the first place may have been slightly distracted, thinking they may have got a penalty, but certainly the chance after Robinson had crossed it in fell beautifully for Leaburn.
Well, that for me is a definite penalty. He's actually played the advantage, the referee. Great cross.
And that's a definite chance. Yes. And so is this.
It certainly is, Brian. But I have to say that I thought the initial challenge definitely was a penalty.
I think these conditions are always going to be difficult for referees, though, you know, Theo. This is Walsh. They have to give a certain amount of discretion when players are finding it hard to keep their feet. This time he's given a free kick to Portsmouth. The Charlton fans none too happy about that.
You have to make allowances, as you rightly say, because it is slippy. There's pools of water on the pitch. You've got to define between a challenge and a slip.
Butters up from the back, Kristensen up from the back. Leaburn's gone back to add his height to a marking job. In fact, he didn't get to it. It was Phil Chapple. Now Warren Neill for Portsmouth. And a throw to Pompey. Neill. Doling. Just Gary Nelson up front, but there's an awful lot of support in red shirts coming up very quickly. If Nelson can find a good pass here, and maybe he'll try something himself. It's Robinson, and he's against the post. And Knight grabs it.
That is just sheer good luck, man. Come back to the keeper who's on the floor.
But look how the red shirts got forward there as well, Theo. And a lovely little ball played by Nelson for Robinson.
That was wonderful. That was counter-attacking at its very, very best. One ball out, as you said, 5 or 6 red shirts. But it's good fortune when it comes off the post, back to the keeper's hands. It's not over yet.
Kristensen with the header forward. Chapple, formerly with Cambridge United.
That's one thing the Charlton will have to do. They'll have to be very patient. You won't get through with those type of long balls. You've got to build up, and that's their game.
Now there, giving the free kick to Charlton. Steve Gritz in the centre. Peacock on the right. Whose son Gavin scored for Chelsea yesterday, of course, against Ipswich. Foul on Gittens by Garland, free kick. Symons, Welsh international. With the free kick.
I see that as a pointless exercise, Brian. Kicking long balls in at Walsh and Durnin. I don't see any point at all in that, because neither of those players are going to win any balls in the air. In the other free kicks and set plays they've had, they've managed to throw big people up, you know.
Alan Kirbishley, the other part of the Steve Grit, Alan Kirbishley co-manager's position here at Charlton. Balmer hits it long towards Carl Leaburn. Nice little touch there by Doling. Picked up here by Walsh. It's one across there, but it's well met by Balmer. Garland. Walsh. Minto planting it forward, but straight to Symons. Walsh to McLoughlin. Well, he might have a go here. Back in again. Some good work there by McLeary, right at a last ditch for Charlton. Back in again by Durnin.
They look very, very suspect, Brian, when the ball is thrown in there. That was a marvellous header from McLeary. I'm sure later on in the game you'll see how important that one was.
But nobody's picking up these McLoughlin runs yet, are they?
No, he's the hero in Ireland, as you well know, for getting the Republic.
Well, he scored that important goal in Belfast that took the Republic of Ireland through to the World Cup finals, Alan McLoughlin.
And I've seen him play quite a few times. He loves that position, loves it.
Now Nelson. McLeary.
I have to say the movement of the Portsmouth front two is excellent. None of them are static at all. They're both making good runs and looking for the ball.
They're both nimble characters, aren't they? On this sort of surface, really, you feel will suit them. Here's Walsh, the little back. Oh, goodness.
I have to say,
Durnin's finishing is usually an awful lot better than that.
I have to say that was a lovely build-up, Brian. There was 4 lovely passes down here. In, out, and in, out. Back heel, beautiful. And he won't be pleased with that one when he sees it.
Durnin to Neill. Walsh again there. Durnin's gone into the middle. And that time it was Doling. They're making chances now as well. They get a corner.
Yeah, one of the reasons is simple now, Brian, is that they're allowing Walsh to come off and get the ball to feet and turn. And we all know what a very good player Paul Walsh is when he's facing people. And he brings other people into the game. Charlton have really got to tighten up now. And very, very quickly.
So McLoughlin with the corner for Portsmouth. Towards the near post, and quite an easy clearance there for Gary Nelson. Walsh. Colin Walsh, that is. Robson chasing, Andy Awford. Gets it clear. Minto. With their form early on, you can see why it is that Portsmouth have had such a good run in the early part of this season. But here's Pitcher. They had a little wobble recently. They lost heavily at West Brom and they were beaten at home by Sunderland. They came back into the picture again with a midweek victory against Watford. Neill gets it back. Garland. Offside. I would have thought back passes might well be a slight problem today. I would have thought it might not be a bad tactic for managers to say, forget about back passes on this surface, because something's going to get held up.
I'm sure you're right there, Brian. That was very close, that one. I'll tell you, I'm sure Jim was a bit heartbroken if that had stuck. But I think Charlton, when they moved the ball from left to right there on the floor, got out the other side, that's the only real chance they have of getting through.
Scott Minto lets that run. Let's go down to the touchline and have a word with Jim Rosenthal.
Brian, Steve Gritt, the Charlton co-manager here, is very, very happy the way that Charlton have been playing, but he's very disappointed that the Portsmouth goal actually stemmed from a Charlton corner. But he's pleased with the number of chances they've been creating, but he was in total agreement with Theo Foley. He felt Charlton should have had a penalty, and he's desperately keen to get that confirmed when he looks at his video.
Thank you, Jim. Here's McLoughlin. Neill can take it up. Walsh tried to get in there. Durnin's in there as well, went right across that goal line. And in the end, Minto, for safety's sake, had to put it behind for the corner.
They are living dangerously, Brian. As I said, the movement is good, the passing is good, and the final ball from Neill there was first class. Too close for comfort.
Indeed. So Minto puts it behind for the corner, be taken again by McLoughlin. Getting in lower this time. Walsh just stabs it away here for Nelson. Leaburn's up ahead of him. Walsh again. Ball really getting held up now by this surface water. Michael's just gone thudding to the ground around us. Cameras just now, so it was truncated coverage. We apologise, but we should be back firing on all cylinders now. Considering the appalling weather, it's not a bad crowd here. It's something like, I think it's 92% total capacity that Charlton have had here since they came back to the Valley a year ago. The capacity is about 8,000 at the moment. Obviously, it's going to be increased when the new stand is completed. Charlton fans delighted to be back here and have shown it by backsides on seats over the last 12 months.
And it's a lovely place to come.
Terrific.
I think at this stage I'll be inclined to throw the little boy Robson much further up the field and play three in midfield. I think he would cause him one or two problems.
Coming in here, but couldn't get the ball through to Nelson. It was Colin Walsh who was making the running down that flank. Chapple's gone forward again. McLeary's gone forward for this one, so the big defenders with Nelson in there as well. Balmer's up from the back also. 2, 4, 6 Charlton players in the Portsmouth penalty area. Walsh heaves in another corner. Back in again there by Balmer. Butter's got his head to it for Portsmouth. And Walsh played it, but it's caught by Minto. And Butters, again, real emergency action. McLeary. Chapple. Smith and getting rather animated there. Graham Patton on the left of the picture, former West Ham Norwich player, assistant manager at Portsmouth.
Looks as though the rain is easing off, Brian, anyway.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not. I've been here, I'm dry.
Portsmouth's free kick. Andy Awford with it. Talked about Paul Walsh making his first appearance when he was 16. Andy Awford made his for Portsmouth, I remember, when he was 16. From the schoolboy international. Stuart Balmer. The right back wearing a #1 shirt. How daft can you get?
You still don't like that, do you? It takes you a while to get used to it.
There are even letters, actually, there are letters in the programme today about complaining about the squad numbers.
Otherwise, there are going to be letters behind their names.
Which? Bjorn Kristensen, no, he thought it was his throw, it's not. He's had 25 minutes now. And still Charlton 0, Portsmouth 1. That's holding Kristensen back, throwing the ball away, presumably.
Actually, Brian, in the last 3 instances, he's tried to take everything quick. He was involved in little fracas with Leaburn on the same instant, because Leaburn wanted to take it quick. So whether it's a Norwegian trick or not, I think you better get on with it.
Or even a Danish one.
Or Danish, I'm not far out. Round the corner.
Up to Nelson. Here's Leaburn. Balmer. tough Scottish defender, Darren Pitcher. A real all-action man through that midfield for Charlton, and has laid a nice ball here for Robinson. But good work by Awford. Balmer again for Charlton.
He's certainly not afraid to actually use the advantage of the referee. You've got to give him 10 out of 10.
Walsh tumbles. McLeary gets it sideways for Balmer. Good movement there. It's Durnin. It's the ball back again. Awford has got a good left foot on him. He hits that one straight to McLeary. Walsh makes a little turn. And Salmon gets it to clear. Offside flag up against Paul Walsh.
I think for people watching, all the Charlton defenders are under pressure, A, because of the movement, and B, they're hurried into clearances. I think the clearances are a major factor with the wind in Portsmouth's favour.
John Gittens, will that go over the roof of the stand? It has indeed. Well, something to do with the Christmas spirit, I would have thought. I tell you, they're downright dry than a lot of people here. You should have a look at the poor cameramen that around the touchline here as well. They're having a pretty rough time of it. Nelson doing his best. Here come Portsmouth again. Good play there by Doling. Durnin brought down by Pitcher. A free kick to Portsmouth. McLoughlin wanted to get on with it. Gets it back from Symons. McLoughlin playing the ball through again to Walsh. Kristensen. Or rather, that's Awford. Now the break could be on for Charlton. This is Robinson. And Minto's made a terrific break down the left-hand side, but the ball was played just behind Scott Minto.
That's one thing Charlton have got to do, Brian. They've got to have to get support to the front two much quicker than they've been doing. Much do. Because they're just losing out the front two, Nelson and Leaburn.
Minto, good left foot. Looking to find Leaburn, but Symons. In fact, Portsmouth as a whole defending well now. Here's Butters, former Spurs player. He's about 35 games in the Tottenham first team, did Guy Butters. Kristensen. Butters. And Walsh. Paul Walsh onto the right foot. Charged down by Phil Chapple. Chapple then gets the ball up to Leaburn. Walsh struggling to get to that one. Oh, my goodness, that was a collision and a half there, right in front of us. Colin Walsh lost a boot. No quarter Arsenal given there between Gittens and Colin Walsh.
There's nobody pulling out of that one. If you'd have been playing outside right for Portsmouth, he got hurt there.
Had 2 legs broken, I think, with that one. Now McLoughlin. Seen some fancy dress already, but yes, you would expect that, wouldn't you, at this time?
They'll have to cheer up a bit, though. They don't look too happy. I must say that the forward play of Portsmouth is very, very impressive. I think their passing is excellent.
Leaburn chesting it down, but straight to Kristensen. There's Minto. Not wide again. It's Nelson who's chasing it. Minto.
I haven't actually seen much of the lad Garland in midfield. I don't know whether the fact that McLoughlin's making the runs in behind him has caused him to stay. He's normally a real powerhouse in there. Pitcher's obviously settled into his normal role, but Garland hasn't really been in it much for me. In fact, I'd be inclined to put Pitcher on McLoughlin and leave him there to stop him running back.
That looks to be what's happening at the moment, doesn't it, though?
Well, I don't know, he seems to be getting between the two of them still.
He does, you're right.
He's a very clever player.
Here he is again, just that little yard of space. Finds Warren Neill. Let's go down to the bench and Jim Rosenthal again.
Pompey bench, absolutely delighted with the way his team's playing, and he says it must be a cracking match for everybody watching back home. I think we'll all go along with that. He feels a bit unhappy, though, that his team haven't got more to show for it than just the one goal. And on the penalty, well, he would, wouldn't he? He said he didn't think that Charlton should have had a penalty.
He always was honest, that Jim Smith.
But his side have played well here so far.
They certainly have, Brian.
Awford knocking it forward again towards Walsh, but the ball gathering a little bit of pace as it came off the surface there.
I suppose there's people watching at home who wonder why every now and then players make mistakes in these conditions, but it's not surprising, is it? Conditions are atrocious.
Actually, they're getting worse by the minute now, aren't they? There's a good deal of surface water now beginning to show itself.
I didn't think it was raining too bad, so it shows you a good judge I am.
Also a fair bit of breeze behind Portsmouth as well. And a one-goal lead. Flick on again by Kristensen. Awford trying to come in there, another goal kick.
I think Charlton are having a real problem now, Brian, to try and sort out exactly how to defend against the movement of the Portsmouth front players. And they're getting full-backs up, as I said they would. Warren Neill has got up there, and the other lad, Butters, he's managed to get up there as well.
So far, Pompey's only away wins this season in the league have been at Birmingham and Sunderland. They've got a few draws, but they've not been the best of away sides. That was a clear handball there by John Gittens. A deliberate handball there as he prevented Colin Walsh getting onto it. But the whistle presumably already gone for an earlier infringement because it's a free kick to Portsmouth.
Gary had a little wrestle there. He got him in a Nelson.
Very Nelson. Symons planting it forward towards Walsh, and Walsh won it in the air that time. Minto, half pulled down by Durnin. Real little scrap of John Durnin. Minto comes back for a bit more, though. Warren Neill now for Portsmouth, keeping this going. McLoughlin. And Minto's clearance up to Leaburn. Winkled the ball through to Garland, knocked forward to Nelson, played back by Walsh there. This is better by Charlton, but I doubt that Robson will keep that in play. He has, but Portsmouth benefited. But then Robinson gets it back again. And they get a throw.
What a great pass that was. Must have went 40 yards and still stayed in. Great effort.
Balmer with a throw for Charlton. Portsmouth still leading 1-0.
Smearing up, Brian. He seems to be having a little bit of problem. Colin Walsh taking this corner kick over there. I don't know why.
Well, he's got plenty of targets to aim for again. McLeary and Chapple, Nelson and Balmer, and Leaburn, who's something like 6'3", 6'4". He's had some real trouble there, didn't he?
There's water. That's what it is. There's water in that corner. He's hit 3 bad ends.
Garland. That's a good ball play for Nelson. The flag is up.
There's obviously water over there, Brian, because he's such a sweet hitter of the ball. They've barely reached the near post. It's an interesting system that Portsmouth played, isn't it? Obviously to accommodate McLoughlin. It's very interesting because he's not so effective on the ball, but very effective off the ball, and he's got quite a good bright brain. Just behind the front two.
Portsmouth throw. Andy Awford with it.
He's had his flag up the lines when
yes, he has.
All of 2 minutes. And I think the referee thought, no, I'm not going to play an advantage. It's very difficult to clear, you know, Brian in the wing and being under pressure as a defender.
Butters with that clearance. Balmer. Garland made a good break here, still with Garland. Can he get to the byline? Good, but couldn't get it in before. I think it was Symons got in there and conceded the corner.
We haven't seen him do enough of that, Brian. He's only made about 4 forward runs. I don't know why. As I said, maybe his job is to pick McLoughlin up.
Well, let's see now what Colin Walsh can do with the corner this time.
Somebody should go and help him.
Which is exactly what they've done. Walsh knocked it in a little too high for Leaburn. Peter Garland might pick this up. He has, at least he's knocked it sideways for Minto. Kristensen. Aaron Pitcher to Robson. And a free kick given, well, the referee was prepared to give a free kick Charlton's way, then he saw the linesman was in fact indicating an offside, and it's a free kick Portsmouth's way. The rain driving in still behind Portsmouth. Balmer's throw. Richard hitting it forward. Balmer again.
You know, far too many players around the ball Charlton on the throw-ins. There's about 4 players and they're all moving all over the place. That's better.
Derbyshire. Moving it in towards Leaburn. Kristensen with the overhead kick to John Durnin. Now for Andy Awford. Get it back to Mike Salmon. And then Robson too slow getting back.
That's how the modern game is speeded up. If you get caught going forward and your goalkeeper kicks on the other end, you've got to get the other side of those defenders.
5 minutes to go to half-time.
And the pace has gone out of the game just a little bit in the last few minutes. Portsmouth probably feel they've done enough. Jim will tell them they haven't, and rightly so. Because I think Charlton will come out in the second half with this win and have a real go.
Leaburn turning well. Pitcher couldn't pick it up. McLoughlin can now for Portsmouth. Durnin. Now to Warren Neill. There's Walsh. Beautifully killed there. Plays a simple little ball into Alan McLoughlin. Taking them all on. He's done really well there and wins a corner off Scott Minto.
He's not really clever, Brian. He doesn't actually go by, but
he was positive,
available.
Wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. He's always available. That's why he got loads and loads of goals for Southampton. Swindon.
Here he is with the corner. And a goal off a Charlton defender again from Guy Butters' header. So McLoughlin gets another go. Gittens in there too. And somehow Salmon fell on that one. And it looked as though it might just snake over the line. Probably a Gittens header there. Yes, there he is. Funny old bounce, but the keeper did well to get behind it.
Certainly did.
Kristensen. Neill up towards Paul Walsh. A foul by Walsh on Chapple, a free kick. It's with Minto. There's a foul that time by Gittens on Nelson as Nelson tried to turn him. I don't think he'll get away with that. A free kick taken from about 10 yards further on. Garland will take. He's leaving it for Chapple.
I'd like to see Scott Minto getting into the game more and more, because I think he could definitely cause problems down here for Warren Neill.
Leaburn with a header. Nelson is in there. Charlton seeking to keep this one going, but Doling bringing it away very skillfully. And in the end, just held it a moment too long. Robson. He's looked useful once or twice down that right flank, I must say. Still battling on. How can he finish it off? He couldn't quite find Nelson.
I thought the ball was stuck to his feet. That was marvellous.
Walsh playing it there. McLeary up to Garland. Balmer. Away though by Butters. Up to Walsh. Suddenly Portsmouth have got men forward as well. Durnin. And Garland for Charlton. Awford.
Well, Portsmouth defenders, the old 3 against 2, they're quite happy with that. Got to get more players up Charlton if they're going to cause any problems to them. They're very, very comfortable.
Leaburn just flicks the ball for Pitcher, and now Minto. Well, you wanted him to get more into the game, and for a moment it looked as though he was there. Into the last minutes of the first half now. It's John Gittens making the run, but Phil Chapple gets it back there. But you can see Walsh charging in there, which is exactly the right thing to do with goalkeepers in possession, particularly on a surface like this. Put them under pressure, make them panic a little bit, and you never know what you might get.
Certainly cause him to panic. See, there's a massive space here for Scott Minto to go into, but I think because the forward players of Portsmouth are keeping the ball, Brian, he's a little bit reluctant to come out.
Half-time whistle. They can go into the dry. Portsmouth go in with a lead given to them by Warren Neill. An excellent goal, well taken, and the 2 co-managers of Charlton with some talking to do in their dressing room. But an excellent game in difficult conditions, and a half-time score here at the Valley in South London. It's Charlton 0, Portsmouth 1.
Welcome back. Well, it may be wet in the Valley, but that hasn't stopped them providing us with one of the best first halves so far this season.
Well, it's been super. Conditions really abominable for the players, but and when you think what's happening in the rest of the country, games been off. We're very fortunate to have a game here, and the football has been of a very high quality. I mean, mistakes get made, obviously, because of the conditions, the ball sticking in it and or skidding away through, maybe overhitting them. But other than that, I think it's been terrific. Very exciting stuff.
Plenty of skill, though, involved in Portsmouth.
Plenty of skill, and Portsmouth getting a goal. This was the Portsmouth goal. Paul Walsh, who I think has been terrific. I thought that was a missed kick, I have to say that. I think he was trying to put that in, but there was Warren Neill coming up on the outside. You can see here it was Doling here, tried to flick it into the net, actually. Caught everybody with a dummy, but it was a lovely finish. But I suppose at half-time, you know, Charlton are saying, where were we at the back post there, you know?
They all seem to be on one side.
Right. Scott Minto, everybody had been dragged in. And they'd be a bit disappointed, you know, with the penalty claim they had.
Yeah, Theo Foley said it should have been a penalty. Steve Gritt
well,
said it
Theo, you must remember, is an old Charlton man, but I would have to agree with him there, because as you can see, the ball didn't deviate, did it? It was on the same path when the forward knocked it there, and I personally thought it was a penalty. But I thought that Alan Knight was very brave here, going down at Leaburn's feet. But with that one there, I thought that should have gone in. You know, when the ball ran free after that, that should have been knocked on target. That was a bad miss. And then, of course, they had the one that hit the post. When Robson, who I think has played ever so well, John Robertson, down the right-hand side of the field, I think he's been the best player in the first half for Charlton, and he was so unlucky. Here we go here. Lovely little ball played to him. Water splashing everywhere, and he thumped it against the post and come back into Alan Knight's hands, and you know that's when you think, well, it might just be a day, you know, ball coming off a post into your hand. This is again Paul Walsh. Look at that. Is that not a beautiful little ball? And really and truly, you know, you got to think that his striking partner Durnin didn't really do the business for him there. But little Paul is so lively. He's moving all over the front line. His control is different class, because you can see he's played at a higher level. The ball sticks to him when it comes to him, and he links up the game with the people around him. You know, he's been great, so I'm looking forward to seeing him in the second half as well. But I would think that Charlton will be looking to get more attacks down the left-hand side. Minto, who normally always plays very well in the games that we see them, today he's having one of those games where he's not in it. He's got to come into the game down the left-hand side to give them a balance.
We shall see. Don't forget, we've a wonderful competition prize up for grabs today. We're offering a personal computer. Details of how to win coming up after the second half of today's main game, and that's next. Yeah, we were saying before the break that Chapple were unlucky not to equalise, but Portsmouth had their chances to make it 2-0, didn't they?
Oh, yes, I think Portsmouth certainly had their chances, and some quite clear-cut ones. I thought John Gittens here should have done better from this corner kick. He's out of picture at the moment. He comes in on the left. The ball beats everybody. And I mean, he's only, what, 7 yards out. He's almost a 6-yard line where he heads it straight at the goalkeeper. Now, I would like to think that coming in on a corner kick and coming in with a bit of pace and power, you can get your head in there and knock it in the net.
Briefly, do you reckon Charlton have a chance of getting back in it?
Charlton have very much have got a chance. Of course they have. You know, they've dominated the amount of play, but Portsmouth on the breaks and on the attack looking very dangerous. But yes, I would say so. Always confident.
Let's be optimistic. Yeah. And let's now rejoin your match commentator at the Valley, Brian Moore.
Well, I hope you're sitting comfortably and warm at home. It hasn't changed much here since you left, as I can tell you. It is still absolutely throwing it down. Teams both out. As far as I can see, no substitutes as yet. I wonder what the referee feels about the conditions. Jim's been talking to him.
Well, yes, Brian, Rodger Gifford very, very happy with the attitude of both teams, it has to be said, and he's only going to stop this game if the ball actually stops in its tracks. He says both teams adopting a great attitude, delighted with the quality of the pitch here at the Valley, and we're going to see a good second half, and they're going to kick off. You won't miss any of the action, but I've got Alan Kirbishy with me. Alan, what do you feel about things for you in the second half?
Well, obviously, we're disappointed to be one down. We got hit on the break, and we paid for it. We've had enough chance, enough play to be in front, or at least being in the draw. And we're just asking for the same effort, perhaps a little bit more guile when we're in and around the box. And
you'll look to give a bit more support to your front too in this second half, I would think.
I think that was a bit worried about them hitting on some break, and you get a bit cautious. But we're one down at home, we're going to have to go for it.
Thanks very much, Alan. Let's get back to our commentary team, to Theo Foley, and first of all, in his little hutch, it's Brian Moore.
Thank you, Jim. So Charlton in the red, looking to make up, and Scott Minto quickly coming into the action and getting much further forward than he has at any time in that first half. And it's a throw to Charlton. Exactly the point you were making, actually, Theo, and in the first half about Scott Minto getting further forward.
Yes, I think that's going to be a major thing. Yes, he's beautiful left foot, very accurate.
Walsh with a good left foot as well to Gary Nelson. And they go to court.
I think Garland in a very quiet way and Stevie Grid have earned a few quid in there, making sure that they really have a go at him, Charlton, now. Because they really have to do that. They have to up it a lot, in my opinion. Portsmouth were very, very comfortable in the first half.
Walsh just knocking it sideways again, but not nearly enough purchase on it in these conditions. Free kick given Portsmouth's way.
It is a lovely feeling as a defender to get the ball out to the front and to know that the front player is going to be able to hold it for you. It gives you so much confidence. Paul Walsh has done that all the way through the game, and that Durnin.
Chapple's header for Charlton. Minto knocking it forward towards Carl Leaburn. Gary Nelson. Nelson quickly taking the throw as well. Charlton fans incensed behind that Portsmouth goal. They felt that was a corner, but Rodger Gifford says no, goal kick. John Gittens.
He's handled the game very well, the referee. I think if he did call it off, I think there might be a man called Jim Smith, a bit agitated over there. I think he might have something to say to him.
I don't think there's a chance of him calling it off.
No chance. Not while you're comfortable.
Chapple leaning in above Paul Walsh, beyond Kristensen. With a good break from midfield now for Portsmouth. Picking up Warren Neill, knocked in and knocked away again. And Minto then putting it away for a throw to Portsmouth. Neill again. Pitcher getting it forward to Nelson, gets it back to Scott Minto. Scott Minto's been a target for quite a few of the big clubs here. He was born in Cheshire, but he's very much a local lad now. Began his career, let me tell you, you wouldn't know this, at a little club called Orpington Rovers. And a commentator I know happens to be very proud to be the president of that club, Theo.
Very, very good. What a knowledgeable man you are on these things.
Yes.
Well, it's great credit to them there.
Scott played for them when he was 10, so they spotted him very quickly.
It's wonderful to see a boy go all the way.
There's Minto again with a header.
Plenty of room here again, Brian. Look, see, Sir Balmer's got to want it as well.
Now Doling. With Awford in a little bit of space here on the left-hand side for Portsmouth. Playing it in there. Well met, though, by McLeary. A good pro, Alan McLeary is. Chapple knocking it clear. Butters that time with a header. Awford. Doling. McLeary again, just caught Durnin offside. Leaburn. Was a really determined interception there by Darren Pitcher. And it got just held up there in the water, and Garland couldn't make anything of it. But Carl Leaburn's trying to keep it going for Charlton. Walsh fell behind Minto again.
I keep saying it, Brian, that's where the spaces are with Scott Minto and Balmer. Both of them have got to get into the game a lot more if Charlton are going to definitely pierce this Portsmouth rear guard.
Here's Minto, or rather Walsh again, now Leaburn. This looks better for them, no. An offside flag goes up against Gary Nelson.
They've handled it well, the Portsmouth defenders. Three people there have... It's much easier for those to actually counteract any attacks by Charlton.
Yeah, they've done well. They had a really rocky first 5 minutes to this game, but they've tightened up considerably since then, haven't they? Oh, a little flick on by Walsh. He really had no right to win that in the air against Phil Chapple. Salmon Butters taking it nicely on the chest, lobbing it forward again. Interesting ball there. And headed back by McLeary. Walsh again. Chapple. And now Garland.
I think we got a few more tackles as the ground starts to get heavier, Brian. Pitcher certainly threw himself in there.
Charlton fans complaining that they've never won live on television. Whenever we've been here, we obviously a bit of a jinx on them. And I think over the last 2 seasons, we must have covered them, what, 6 or 7, 8 times. They've never won.
Who are they going to play, me or you?
Well, I'm usually the butt of those sort of things.
I'll go 50-50 with you, OK?
And they're down here again today. Portsmouth leading 1-0. Garland. Balmer. Go a long, long way. And Nelson just leading him in there again. Walsh with the left foot. Butters with a header clear for Portsmouth. Good defending again. And Durnin with the ball up to Paul Walsh. Again, Charlton get possession. Knocked forward again. Now some space for Nelson. Leaburn's in the middle. Robinson's in the middle. Kristensen brings it away to Doling, a young trainee, Stuart Doling from the Isle of Wight. Originally, Walsh, return by him, bringing Durnin into it. Stopped by Salmon, but that could so easily have been a second goal for Portsmouth. Free kick to Charlton.
He definitely has shown his class, Brian, Paul Walsh. There's no doubt about it. Every time he's been on the ball, it's been so dangerous.
Well, it was certainly he who made the chance there for Durnin. This is Doling. Played inside again for Walsh. What's he got waiting for Charlton now? My goodness, there was a chance there for, I think it was Warren Neill, number 7. The ball really caught up, and now Minto gets it caught up as well. Shakes off Warren Neill. Still Minto, stopped in the end by Guy Butters. Neill, the game's picked up a bit of pace again now. McLoughlin to Doling. Butters.
Definitely Charlton have got to do that. I feel Stuart Balmer, he made a run a few minutes ago, Brian, and the results are that he's able to get at the back 3. They've got to do that.
Nelson with the header. Pitcher getting in. Balmer. Robinson. That's going to go out of play for a Portsmouth throw. Portsmouth will have a Coca-Cola Cup replay, of course, against Peterborough in midweek, for the right to play Manchester United in the next round. Walsh, a lovely ball wide again here for John Durnin. Charlton hook it away. Got a message at the other side of the field. You were saying at half-time they might well bring Mark Robson on, and I think that's about to happen for Peter Garland. Theo.
Yes,
in the meantime, the flag is up on the far side. Paul Walsh has been pulled back.
He's been very, very quiet, Garland, and I'm not sure that, as I said, he hasn't been offset by the fact that McLoughlin is such a big threat. And I am a little bit surprised that he hasn't been man-marked by Darren Pitcher, who I think would relish that job, Brian.
He's another player, a nimble player, who might well be suited to these sort of conditions. He had a really good season last season with West Ham in the Ensley First Division, taking them towards the Premiership.
It's a forwards delight day today,
Yes.
I can tell you that.
Robinson. Goal kick. They're going to make the substitution, trying to attract the referee's attention. So Peter Garland goes off. Mark Robson.
I think he'll come on and play wide left, and then you bring Colin Walsh back in there, just in the midfield.
That's exactly it.
That possibly looks better now, I think. Give it a better look.
Paul Walsh almost getting the ball through again to Durnin. Now it does come through to Durnin. And Robson, his first contribution's a defensive header. McLoughlin turning it in again. Paul Walsh is there!
That was really brave, Brian. I mean, if you have a look at the size of him there, he's got in and challenged. He's obviously knew he was going to get a smack, and he goes right in here to try and win the ball, wins the ball. That's marvellous.
He's taken a smack in doing it.
Yeah, and you have to be brave to take him. He's at an age now where he knows he's going to get him as well. There's a lot of speculation that he wasn't too happy because he might be moving, but he hasn't shown any evidence of that today, to me anyway. I've always felt all through his career he's never scored enough goals. Great ability.
Some real battling stuff here by Stuart Doling. And then in the end was brought down by Balmer.
McLeary's foot injury would be too good after that.
He had his foot stamped on in training this week. Didn't train at all yesterday. McLoughlin's header. Durnin. McLeary trying to hold him up.
He's a funny player, isn't he, McLoughlin? He picks up loads of balls in there. You don't think he's going to pick them up. One header and they're having a little attack. I think the front two at Portsmouth have been major factors in unsettling Charlton's rhythm.
Gittens. Oh, beaten this time by Nelson, but no, the linesman claimed the ball had gone out of play. It's a throw. Symons almost hustled, indeed was hustled into an error there. Pitcher taking it up. Balmer's here available. Durnin's coming back to try and help out. Oh, that could have been really unpleasant for Alan Knight. The ball skidding to him along the ground there, but he got beautifully behind it. The shot from Balmer.
So much space to run into, it's untrue.
McLeary getting across as Walsh comes in again. Just clipped off the little Portsmouth number 10. Minto's throw. You're waving your arms about. What are you trying to...
I just think that's the areas which Charlton have got to exploit. The distance between Balmer and the outside right Robinson. About 40 yards. You could easily run in there and get the ball.
On this right-hand side.
Yes, he could indeed.
In the meantime, it's Robson with the cross, wearing number 27 on his shirt. Portsmouth getting it away again.
You realise that could have been 72.
McLeary in. Just held it up for a moment. Durnin now takes it up for Portsmouth. Oh, my goodness. Took a chance there. Balmer. McLeary. Balmer. Butters with a header. To Doling. Walsh. Lovely little touch by Walsh for Durnin. And that's the end of it.
Fell like peaches.
Walsh. Colin Walsh, that is. Up to Gary Nelson. Little touch again from Paul Walsh, combining so well with John Durnin. Terrific combination, and now Walsh hitting it towards Doling. Durnin with the shot. Salmon nicely behind it.
The big lad, the big Chapple man thought he was offside there, but I don't think he was. He was appealing.
Leaburn chasing, but Knight is going to get there first. Awford. Got a pace about him here.
Very steady player, him. Good on the ball. Always been a steady player.
McLoughlin. Walsh, a lovely turn. Can Durnin get in there? The Portsmouth fans I saw behind that goal were on their feet as one man.
And it's hard to imagine that under these conditions that they're able to get so many good one-touch passes in Portsmouth. But they've done it, haven't they? Even a flick or a little twist they've got there.
Minto. Colin Walsh to Carl Leaburn, right down by the corner flag. Minto again for Charlton. And Kristensen now with a chance to bring it away, but the ball's gone into touch. It'll be a throw for Charlton, which Minto will take. Pitcher, Minto. Good interception by Symons. Walsh again. To weave a little bit of magic on that left foot. Gary Nelson behind for the goal kick. And it's tough for him out there. Have a little word also. He's got mud in the eye and in the mouth as well, poor old Gary. But there's certainly we've got a little bit of cover here, even though we are right down by the touchline. But spare a thought too for the cameramen. They've got no cover there. Hope you'll agree they're doing a very good job for us this afternoon. If anything, it's raining even harder now. So it's a goal kick now for Portsmouth. Charlton, remember, needing a win to leapfrog over Tranmere Rovers to go top tonight. With a goal down. Awford. Pitcher battling. Doling being pressed by him as well. Walsh playing the ball forward. Chapple stuck out the long legs. And Salmon screwed that one away in the touch.
And was glad to do it, Brian.
You said that.
Yeah, you said those conditions would cause that problem, and let's be fair, it does.
Awford. It's a goal kick. Jim Rosenthal.
Brian, still plenty of optimism down on that Charlton bench from Steve Gritt. They're looking to get Scott Minto into more attacking positions down this near side, and he just wants his team to produce a little bit more quality into that penalty area for Carl Leaburn and Gary Nelson to feed off. But plenty of optimism, and well, they desperately want to win in front of the cameras for the first time, don't they? But in case you haven't noticed it, Brian, it's raining even harder down here.
Yes, we had noticed it, Jim. Thank you. Balmer.
At this stage now, Brian, I would definitely throw one of the wide players right up front and make him stay right up the field. Possibly Robson, he might be the man to come on fresh. Understand my logic? That would bring one defender back.
McLoughlin. Shot charged away. Walsh trying to get in there. Those areas there, it's become a little bit of a lottery. Oh, this is where it is a lottery, but this time Salmon gets it clear with a good deal of confidence. Balmer picks up a loose one. Plays it in again to Robinson, didn't get a hold of it. There's a little ball played by Robson for Robinson. Good defending there, once again by Kit Symons. Thought for a moment Charlton were in there. In the meantime, it's Walsh. No, referee unhappy about something. Having a word with Kristensen.
He certainly has a lot to say, the man, when the ball goes dead. There's no doubt about that. When he's speaking Danish to him or Norwegian, as I call him a Norwegian.
Well, it's a corner, we know that, for Charlton, which Colin Walsh will take. Now, could Charlton get themselves back into the game with this one? A little flick on, and a good one. Chapple launched himself at that one. I think it was Robson who touched it on. And Portsmouth were delighted to get that one clear. Minto gets it back and is held up. Salmon read it very quickly and well. Butters standing up strong against Leaburn. Walsh playing it into Robson again. Colin Walsh again. Minto playing it in. And they get it back to Knight. Chapple playing it forward again, but the flag is up for an offside for Colin Walsh.
They have caused problems, Charlton, when they've got Minto forward and Balmer. They have definitely caused problems. They haven't done it enough, and I'm sure that Stevie and Alan will want them to do more and more of that.
Well, we're halfway through the second half. Neill. Goal kick. I think you queried whether Charlton should have had a penalty, but that point apart, I think it's been an excellent performance by the referee today as well, Rodger Gifford, in very, very difficult circumstances for him.
He's been splendid, and I've seen some awful refereeing in the last week, so it's nice to see one. He's a good referee.
Doling. In comes McLeary. This is Warren Neill. Minto versus Walsh. Goal kick.
I wouldn't think Paul would be too happy with that one. He went flying there, but Minto stayed with him, and they both went for a dive in the corner. Swimsuit.
Well, don't worry, the players are feeling it as well. I think they're just looking forward to getting this game over. Andy Awford's just been having a word with the linesman here, keep pointing to his wrist. How much longer, linesman? Well, it's still another 20 minutes to go, Andy. Minto hitting it forward. Another Charlton throw. Once again, Scott Minto with it. Walsh. McLeary. And now Balmer. Robson wanting something, coming a little deep to get it, but McLeary hitting it long and maybe too long. It'll not be easy for Robinson, but they get a throw. Balmer, chance to turn this in quickly here. Leaburn waiting for it, launched himself at it. Robson didn't get a touch on it. Colin Walsh, Leaburn now offside.
To be fair, they've handled him well, Leaburn. They've always had a challenge on him, dealt with the flick, and when the ball's been cleared, they've come up a little bit quicker. I'm sure Jim will be pleased with that, because they haven't had many shots at the goal, Charlton. is a real battle, isn't it? Pitcher and Doling has done very well.
Pitcher. Nelson. No. Not enough on that. McLoughlin taking it away, looking up, looking around, always aware of so much what's on around him. Finds Paul Walsh, but the flag was up again, I think on the far side, looking for the linesman. No, it wasn't. McLeary to Walsh. Hit long this time for Robinson to chase, but the ball will beat both he and Awford into touch. Actually, there's little chance when passes are played at that length, Theo, of them being accurate, because they're catching up so much pace on this surface, aren't they?
That's correct. And it has to be absolutely perfect.
Absolutely.
Walsh hit one in the first half here.
Yes.
Superb against the wind, which you've got a better chance with.
Robson. Foul on him by Doling. It's a free kick for Charlton. Now, can they make something from this? Just outside the box. Walsh, who's got a terrific left foot, fancies a bit of this. But Mark Robson also. Right, they're leaving it to Mark Robson to float it deep on the far side to Balmer. Now onto the left foot of Colin Walsh. Charged down by Kristensen. McLeary. Pitcher playing it towards Robinson. Robson just holding it up. Chapple in there. Came a handball and it's given against Doling. Another free kick to Charlton. 16 minutes to go.
Fancy them off one of these.
I think Colin Walsh might have a crack at this. A little curler left foot, yep. 3 in the wall. Certainly not back 10 yards at the moment. And reluctant to go back. Crucial moments this possibly as Charlton look for an equaliser. Walsh curling it. A real scramble round there. Robson looking to turn it back, jinking, and gets another corner. And Charlton fans now becoming a little more optimistic in these still appalling conditions that you can see. Colin Walsh. Robson stepped over the ball, a little jink, looked to get it back again, but my goodness, there was a great wall of blue there stopping him. Walsh again in with the left foot, goal kick.
It's a nice variation that on the corner kick, but I personally like to see the ball going in. I like to see a real challenge, and in these conditions, anything can happen.
Get it in there, I think.
Yeah. And you're asking the goalkeeper to make a decision as well. Sometimes they make wrong ones. But Charlton now at this stage have got to up it.
So Portsmouth substitution. Russell coming on. Lee Russell. Can't yet see who they're taking off. Number 11, it seems. Bjorn Kristensen. No, 8.
I must say I'm surprised at that. I think he's done very well, the young man.
Well, there was an 11 being held up over there, but
that's probably the nearest that Jim could get to 8.
Jim Rosenthal?
Yes, no surprise that Jim Smith just indicated to me that he was going to make a little change there, Brian, for the last quarter of an hour or so of this game. Portsmouth, though, absolutely counting no chickens at the moment. They realise that they could still throw this one away, and Jim Smith wants his team to play a lot more in the Charlton half, and he's just wondering about the referee as well. All those nervous thoughts that go through a manager's mind when you're 1-0 up away from home, as Theo Foley, I'm sure, knows.
It's always assuming that Theo was ever 1-0 up away from home. Here's Robinson. And they get a corner, but certainly that's a much more positive look about Charlton in the last quarter of an hour or so, Theo.
Yeah, they have to go for it now. There's no way, as I said before the game, they want the result out of this game, and to lose 3 points here would be very damaging. It's going to happen, but it would be damaging.
Walsh with the corner. Floated in there. As if anything can be floated in these conditions. And Portsmouth get it away again. Minto with the throw. Bit of space now for Colin Walsh. Onto that left foot, curling it in again towards Carl Leaburn. Knocked down for Gary Nelson. That was a chance.
That without doubt was the best chance they've had. No, lovely lay back, all on his own, Leaburn. Couldn't believe it.
Just came off a defender for another corner for Charlton. Once more, Colin Walsh with it. The left foot of his, but didn't get a Charlton player on the other end of it. McLoughlin trying to run it out. And Neill hitting it straight at Pitcher. Pitcher hitting it straight at Durnin, I think it is, on that far side. John Durnin. Beaten by Minto. Russell playing it for McLoughlin. Back again to Alan McLoughlin. Delicate little chip by him to Paul Walsh for Portsmouth. Walsh to Robson. Oh. Gittens was very quick on that one. Now Robinson, there's a chance here. He hits it straight at night.
Very good refereeing there, Brian. Again, offside given, and he's still allowed play to go on. I love referees like that. I wish more referees would do that.
Acknowledging the linesman as well as he did so. And Knight gets down to save Robinson's shot. So Portsmouth still leading here at Charlton by a goal to nil, denying Charlton a leapfrog back to the top of the Ensley First Division. Robinson finds Leaburn. Holding off Butters as best he can, going right across the centre line there. Eventually gets it to Minto. Nelson chasing on again, but Symons, I must say, has done a terrific job at the back for Portsmouth today.
They all have at the back, Brian. All the defenders have coped very well with anything the Charlton have thrown at them.
Little over 10 minutes left. Robson, Minto. Robson gets it back again. In the end, he's held up by Gittens. Scott Minto's throw. Minto again. There's his cross. Just caught behind Leaburn, but might come McLeary right up there. Kristensen. Walsh. No, good defending again by Chapple. And Charlton making a second substitution, bringing Sean Newton on and taking Gary Nelson off. He's really battled away up there today, Gary Nelson. He's having a good season. But a fresh pair of legs come on now in the shape of Sean Newton.
And he has such terrific pace at this stage of the game. It's the last throw of the dice for him.
Portsmouth get a corner. They've even released John Gittens from the back to go forward with Guy Butters. A goal now for Portsmouth would really seal it.
He's worked very hard, Paul Walsh, hasn't he? He really has. They've worked so hard.
let that go too much further across the face of the goal. Robson. Yes, with Walsh when he left Tottenham to go to Portsmouth, you thought, well, that's just to play out his career now. He seems to have got a new lease of life down there on the south coast and attracting all sorts of attention now from Premiership clubs. But Jim Smith quite right, saying he's got a contract here and this is where he's staying and we need him. But I think most people felt that that was to play out time when he went there, Theo.
Yes, it was. But I think Jim would have a very big influence on him.
Yes.
No doubt about that. He knows what he's on about.
It's back with Alan Knight. Robinson almost got that through to Newton, and might still. No, he was stopped that time by Awford. Kristensen now bringing it forward again for Portsmouth. Newton getting back at him. McLoughlin and Neill.
I've been very impressed with when Portsmouth have been under pressure, the number of one-touch passes that they've made and their awareness of where other people are when the ball has come. The hallmark of a very confident team, and they are confident today.
And to be fair, they've had the edge today, haven't they?
Yes. Apart from the first 10 minutes or so.
That's right. Here's Balmer. Kick, I think, for the foul by Butters on Robinson.
Charlton are going to get it now, Brian. I think it might be on one of these situations.
Well, here's Walsh. Leaburn very active in there as well. Hit towards him, hit towards Chapple, but Gittens got up beautifully to get that away. Robson. Another cross coming in. Chapple had stayed up there. It was just a fraction too high for him. Sean Newton gets it back again to Walsh again. Too close. In fact, it's over the back and it's a goal kick. 6 minutes to go now. Leaburn. There were four trying to get him away, and he held them all off. Balmer sticking out a foot. Will Minto get there first? He does. Pitcher. Balmer. Might even have been worth a shot, really, in these conditions from that range as well. Walsh tucking it in again for Minto, knocked a long way in there. Newton trying to keep it going for Charlton, but it's McLoughlin with the header clear. It's McLeary now. Charlton putting a lot of pressure on Portsmouth in these last few minutes. Balmer, Colin Walsh, Leaburn might come for Pitcher, and now McLeary forward. Robson almost got McLeary in. Durnin gets it clear up to Paul Walsh. Little touch again from Paul Walsh to Durnin. Or Neill. The ball played long. Walsh will get on the end of that. And we're inside the last 5. Portsmouth still leading by a goal to 0. Walsh, McLoughlin, Neill, a free kick to Charlton. It's Balmer for Charlton. Batters puts it away.
Well, when you put so many people behind the ball, as Portsmouth do, the movement is to get in very, very quickly and get the cross in. Otherwise, I think you're dead.
Now Charlton get another corner. Once again, Walsh with it. Again, time running out for Charlton. Leaburn didn't quite reach that one. Gittens got to that one. Durnin hooks it away for Portsmouth. To McLoughlin. Just Paul Walsh up, but Durnin has made a terrific break for Portsmouth now. Can McLeary get across there? He can.
He's a clever player, McLoughlin, isn't he? Knows when to hold the ball and knows when to pass it.
Walsh again. It's been good to watch him today, I must say, Paul Walsh.
Absolute class.
McLoughlin. Kristensen. Oh, my goodness, that was an extraordinary slip there. Now, can Charlton take advantage of it as Robson finds Newton? Butters has come and closed him down, though. Leaburn's waiting in the middle. And it'll be a throw.
He sees it himself there, didn't he? Kristensen.
McLeary with a chance to get the ball in. No, and he delayed it. It's a Charlton throw. Time running out now with about 2 minutes left. McLoughlin flicked most arrogantly with the outside of the boot there. Alan McLoughlin looking up at our little perch here, shaking his head, his tongue hanging out. And here.
He'll be a saint in Ireland anyway at the moment.
Indeed.
St. Alan.
Okay, name the man of the match for us then, old chum.
No hesitation. I know I'm going to disappoint a few Charlton fans, but I'm going to pick Paul Walsh purely for his class and his awareness and his contribution to the team. I think he's been absolutely first-class, Paul.
With, I would have thought, the likes of Symons and McLoughlin not far behind.
Very, very close, but I have to give it to Walsh.
Here's Walsh again. McLeary getting it clear up to Leaburn. Pitcher playing it short there for Walsh. And Minto joining in the attack, but Gittens being very solid also at the back for Charlton, for Portsmouth, hitting it high into the stand. And Jim Smith knowing that 3 incredibly important points are now just a few seconds away. Walsh again. Well, if Charlton are going to save it, they better save it now. It's Alan McLeary. Played for Colin Walsh. Tried to get it through to McLeary. They get a corner right at the very last now. So here's Charlton's corner. Leaburn trying to turn it in. Paul Walsh getting it away. The final whistle. And 3 vital points for Portsmouth. Charlton still to win live on television. Didn't again do themselves justice, but the Pompey fans delighted with the performance of their team, and rightly so. It's a match they edged after the first 5 minutes of the game, and the goal by Warren Neill after only 7 minutes is really what decided it all. So the final score here at the Valley is Charlton Athletic 0, Portsmouth 1. Now then, a quick word, Theo.
Yes, I'm sure that everybody at Charlton will be a little bit disappointed with it. But you've got to say that Portsmouth, apart from the 10 minutes, Brian, have contained what Charlton have thrown at them, been very dangerous on the break, with Walsh and McLoughlin been, to me, shown just a little bit of class. Where it mattered, they showed that they had that little bit of extra power. And all credit to them.
Well, here's a man who's got a real bit of class about him, is the man of the match, Paul Walsh. I think we can get a shot of Paul Walsh, can we? And he's there with Jim Rosenthal, the man of the match.
Paul, very well done indeed. Yeah, I think you first played here with the first team in 1979. You seem to get better and better with age.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. It's a long time ago. We lost here 1-0 last year. It was great to come back today in difficult conditions and get a result.
You were skipper for the day here. You must have been delighted with the effort your team put on here today. Yeah,
it was always going to be a difficult game for us, and you know, like I said, difficult conditions. And Charlton started brilliantly, bombing corners in from all angles. We survived that little spell, and you know, we got the goal that we needed. We should have had 1 or 2 more probably.
I tell you, Theo Foley up there is pointing out how hard you're working at your game these days. Do you feel you're working harder than ever, and perhaps any regrets you didn't work as hard earlier in your career?
No, I don't think I didn't ever work hard. It was just, you know, sometimes you get breaks and they go through, and sometimes they don't. I'm working as hard as I ever have done. You know, people just noticing a little bit more there.
Absolutely, yeah. I must ask you about your future. A lot of speculation, especially down on the south coast. Where do you stand as regards Portsmouth Football Club?
Well, I went in to ask for next year on my contract. I felt I possibly deserved that. The manager, you know, so I could have that, and then it's gone the other way and I can't have it. So at the moment, I've not settled anything, and I don't really know what's happening at the moment.
Paul, you played a crucial part in the winning goal here today. I think we've got a little wet monitor down here you can have a look at, and I think you'll be well chuffed with your own role in this.
Yeah, I can't really remember what happened. Oh yeah, Stu Doling, I knocked it into him, and he sort of got a little flick on it, rolled to Wally Neill, and luckily stuck it in just to the side of the keeper. Absolutely. Great, 1-0.
Well, they're chanting a Charlton reject here. I think there'll be quite a few fans will be glad to have you back in the team, but you made a bit of history. That's the first Ensley Owl, the first of many, and you won it Man of the Match award from us all. Very well done, and great entertainment in the circumstances, Walsh.
Thanks very much. Cheers. Thanks, man. Yeah, thanks very much.
Walsh and Owl. On Charlton 0, Portsmouth 1. We thought they might do it, but they didn't. Really, Portsmouth had the better of the second half as well.
Well, Portsmouth are a very strong side, and I thought under the conditions there, as the game wore on, they looked to be more and more in command of the situation, and I think ran out, worthy winners at the end.
Walsh, who got the Man of the Match award
yes,
there. Involved in the goal, involved in a few chances as well in the second half.
Well, I was saying at half-time, you know, how impressed I've been with little Paul Walsh, and, you know, I just think he's got that stamp of class about him, and as I was saying, he keeps bringing other people into the game. This is Durnin here, and really and truly, Durnin today should have had 2 or 3 goals, because little Walsh was putting him on a plate for him, and he hit Salmon with that. And the goalkeeper did well being at the near post and getting the angle right, but really and truly should have hit that a lot earlier.
And he had his own chance, a header coming up here.
Very unlucky with the header, I thought. You know, I mean, he's only, what, 5 feet nothing, but he got himself in there. Little spring heels here. And with the goalkeeper coming out, you know, he knows the goalkeeper's coming there, but there he is, he's brave, gets a punch in the ear for his troubles, and it just flicked over the bar. He'll be a bit upset when he sees that, you know.
The rain got heavier and heavier. What effect did stamina have on this game?
Well, obviously, stamina plays a big part. I mean, it's hard work dragging your legs through that, and, you know, and the ball's sticking and flying. But, you know, as I say, I thought both sides handled it very well, and I thought they gave us a good game under the circumstances.
OK, we'll have some more reaction now. We'll go back to the Valley and join Jim Rosenthal, who's with Alan McLeary.
Yes, thank you, Matt. Alan McLeary. I'm just listening to Ian St John back in the studio, paying tribute to both sides. I know you're a bit low at the moment, but in terms of entertainment for everybody watching back home in the conditions, that was great stuff.
Yeah, you know, it was a decent game. I was just saying it's a bit better than the last time than we was on. We played at Luton, but you know, a bit disappointing to have lost. But as you say, it was a decent game considering the conditions.
Is the feeling in the dressing room there that you never want to see a television camera again, because you just don't seem to win when we come and see you?
Someone just said that, funny enough. The next time you ask us to be on, we should tell you to go away. But no, it's just one of them things. We didn't. I mean, you don't think about that. We tried our best. We give it a good shot. We had a few chances there, and but all credit to Portsmouth. They defended well second half and kept us out.
A setback for you then, finally, but do you feel you've got the all-round strength, the all-round ability to keep that sustained challenge going towards the Premiership?
I think so, yeah. It's, you know, people didn't think we'd last this long, you know, at the top as we have done. But, you know, we'll try and stay up there as long as possible. And, you know, who knows what's going to happen after Christmas.
Alan, thanks for joining us. Get back in the war.
It's a pleasure.
Alan, Jim, thanks very much. Let's return to the Valley and join Jim Rosenthal, who's been joined by the Charlton chairman, Rodger Alwyn.
Thank you, Matt. Well, actually, it's quite appropriate that we should talk to Rodger, because I think Birmingham wanted, well, at least one of your management duo here, didn't they?
Yes, they phoned up about 10 days ago. Karen Brady phoned up and said, could they approach Alan Kirbishley? We said no, Alan said no, and that was the end of the story.
And now you're looking to sign the two of them here, Stevie Gritt and Alan Kirbishley, for some time.
Yes, well, we were, in fact, in the middle of conversations with them, and they've agreed a new contract, which they'll sign this week, and that'll keep them here until the middle of '97, hopefully.
Not the happiest first birthday for you here today, but perhaps apart from the match and the result here, anyway, just assess your first year back at the Valley for us, could you?
Not a great result, but I enjoyed the game, I have to say. I think the players did exceptionally well on what was a very difficult pitch. The year's been tremendous for Charlton. You know, take us back 18 months, and I think a lot of people would think we were dead and buried. We made it back, and the last 12 months, I think we've made a lot of steps forward. And on the pitch, the team has done brilliantly. To be second in the table a year on is a fantastic achievement.
And the fans have responded. I think the percentage is enormous of your capacity here that you're getting every game.
Yes, well, we've only got 8,300 seats at the moment. That'll change, hopefully, if the winter's all right, and that'll go to 15,000 in April. But so far, we've averaged 91% capacity in all our home games, which is marvellous.
You run a very tight ship here financially, don't you? Are you at all tempted, especially after what's happened today, to give your management just a few quid to sparkle the side up?
It would be nice. It's a very tight ship. I mean, at the moment, I think we're walking the same tightrope as many clubs, redeveloping the ground and obviously trying to perform on the pitch. We'd love to give them some money, I know. We are, in fact, in the process, and hopefully this week there will be a prospectus going out with a share issue. And if that's successful, if that's totally successful, then maybe they might just get a little money.
Do you feel, just briefly, the Premiership might be here this time next year then?
Oh, it's a lovely thought. I think everybody wants that, and I think it would be a marvellous achievement in view of all the problems that we've gone through. To actually make the Premier, I mean, would be really the icing on the cake.
Well, thanks for talking to us, Rodger. It's amazing, isn't it? It's been absolutely chucking it down for 6 or 7 hours. You come and talk to us, and the rain stops. There must be something in that.
Yes, absolutely. Can't believe it.
I knew you were a powerful man in these parts.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Rodger.
Fine.
Gentlemen, thanks very much. Rodger Alwyn talking earlier about the possibility of the Premiership coming to the Valley next season. There they are in second place, and they've got a game in hand.
Yes. Oh, I mean, there's all to play for. We keep saying this as we look at the table after every programme, and I keep saying, if you go down to 12th place here in Wolves, you know, anybody can get up. Believe me, anybody can get up in this division. It's terrific. The Premier League's finished. Everybody's saying the whole thing's finished. But this one's all to play for.
And if we look at the bottom, you were saying earlier in the programme about the problems that Watford have got, and there they are in graphic detail.
Unfortunately, yes. And I saw Peterborough last week, and they were awful. So they're in the rightful position there. But, you know, they've got to get... Watford really have got to get off and running again and start picking up a few points. Otherwise, they're going to be stuck down in the mire with Oxford and Sunderland and whatever. Because I think Birmingham might move up a little bit.
OK, thank you very much. That's just about it for this edition of the Sunday Match. But for now, from Ian, myself and all of us here on the Sunday Match, it's a very good evening. Bye-bye.